I don't know about y'all, but these past 12 months in robotics have had me shook. Like, the advancements we've seen are borderline scary at this point. We're gonna break it all down chronologically, from July 2023 to now. But let me just set the stage real quick. You had AI companies dropping the craziest humanoid AI robots that are legit starting to think and learn autonomously. I'm talking Mecha, Optimus, this whole new breed of androids. Then you had big dogs like Boston Dynamics. Oh, and get this, there's even a company that's low-key created a robotic body ready for freaking AGI. It's been that level of crazy, and honestly, it's been wild just trying to keep up with all the major updates and breakthroughs, but don't worry, I got you covered. In this video, we're gonna take it step by step, going through all the biggest robotics news chronologically from July 2023 until now. So let's just get started.
So a mecha, a groundbreaking robot from Engineered Arts that talks and mimics human expressions and movements, now draws too, making it a fascinating blend of tech and art. This AI robot looks like a human but doesn't have a specific gender or race, with a gray rubber face and hands. It can move its arms, fingers, neck, and face, letting it show emotions and even talk. With microphones, cameras, and facial recognition software, it can interact with people just like a human. Now, recently, OpenAI and a Norwegian startup called 1X made an exciting announcement about the launch of their first physical robot named Neo, which looks like a futuristic astronaut, can move around, handle things, talk, and sense its surroundings thanks to its arms, legs, cameras, speakers, microphones, and sensors. Mecha and Neo are excellent examples of AI in human-like forms. They don't just respond to commands, they can also show their intelligence and creativity, like when they draw. Let's examine how they manage to do this. So first, let's talk about Mecha, one of the most advanced human-shaped robots in the world, representing the forefront of human robotics technology. It is designed specifically as a platform for development into future robotics technologies, such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. One of the most impressive features of a mecha is its realistic human-like appearance and motion. A mecha can mimic human expressions such as smiling, frowning, or winking, using 24 motors in its face. It can also move its head, eyes, and mouth to follow and engage with people. It can speak in different languages and accents using text-to-speech synthesis or pre-recorded audio. It can also gesture with its arms and hands using 20 motors in each arm and 12 motors in each hand. It can even play rock, paper, scissors or give a thumbs up. But a mecha is not just a pretty face. It also has a high degree of dexterity and fine motor skills, which enable it to perform tasks that require precision and coordination. For example, a mecha can write with a pen, type on a keyboard, play the piano, or solve a Rubik's Cube. It can also draw with a pencil, which is one of its newest and most amazing skills. A mecha's drawing ability was developed by Engineered Arts in collaboration with researchers from the University of Bristol and the University of Bath. The project was funded by the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council and was presented at the International Conference on Robotics and Automation in May 2023. The project aimed to use artificial intelligence to make drawing more imaginative and accurate. The researchers used a combination of techniques to achieve this goal, such as generative adversarial networks, style transfer, a method that can change the style of one picture to match another, like making a photo seem like a painting. Inverse kinematics, a technique for determining the movements of a robot arm based on its intended final position, like holding a pencil. Proportional integral derivative controllers. These adjust a motor's speed and force to get a specific result, like drawing a line. Using these methods, a mecha can draw different types of images like portraits, landscapes, animals, and even abstract art. It can also draw pictures based on text descriptions, such as a cat with sunglasses or a fire-breathing dragon. It can even make drawings from its own thoughts by using random data as its input. To draw an image, a mecha first uses a GAN to generate an image from a text prompt or noise. Then, it uses style transfer to apply a desired style to the image, such as sketch, watercolor, or oil painting. Next, it uses IK to calculate the joint angles of its arm and hand to trace the contours of the image. Finally, it uses PID controllers to control the motors of its arm and hand to draw the image on paper. The result is stunning. A mecha can draw images that are not only realistic but also expressive, diverse, and original. Now, most of us are familiar with OpenAI because of ChatGPT. However, OpenAI isn't just about making software, they also focus on hardware. And that's why they have developed Neo, their first physical robot. Neo is a human-like robot powered by OpenAI's systems such as GPT-4, DALL-E, Codex, and Clip. It can learn, understand commands, and even create images or code. Designed to look like a future astronaut, it can move, handle objects, and communicate. OpenAI plans to use Neo as a testbed for their vision of artificial general intelligence, AGI, which is the ultimate goal of creating AI that can perform any task that a human can. It was unveiled in July 2023 at the Neo Accelerator, a startup accelerator founded by Silicon Valley investor Ali Partovi, which partnered with OpenAI and Microsoft to provide free software and mentorship for budding AI companies. And it was one of the highlights of the event, where it demonstrated some of its abilities and tasks. Neo is one of the most innovative and ambitious robots in the world, representing OpenAI's vision for the future of AI and robotics. It has a customizable design and latest tech features. Its parts can be changed based on the task or place. For instance, it can swap its legs for wheels, or its gripping tools depending on what's needed. It can also interact with its parts wirelessly through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Furthermore, Neo uses OpenAI's AI systems like GPT-4, DALL-E, Codex, and Clip that enable it to understand and respond to spoken commands, create realistic images from text, write functional code from spoken prompts, and learn from text-based guidance to identify objects, faces, and feelings. With these abilities, Neo can perform a variety of tasks, such as drawing, playing games, and solving puzzles. For instance, it can draw pictures, learn and play games like chess, and solve logical puzzles like Sudoku. Ameca and Neo are both humanoid robots that can draw and do amazing things using artificial intelligence, but they are also very different in many ways. They represent different approaches and possibilities in the field of robotics and AI. Ameca is designed to be human-like and interacts with people using normal language and movements. Its art comes from turning words or noise into images, which it then draws on paper. Although Ameca's artwork is unique and expressive, the quality depends on how well the images are generated and traced. On the other hand, Neo is designed to be versatile, able to do any human task using artificial intelligence. It makes art by transforming words or noise into code, which it then runs on its internal computer or screen. While Neo's drawings are accurate and realistic, they're limited by the complexity of the code and the display resolution. Both robots are remarkable but have different goals. Ameca aims to express itself through art, valuing creativity and diversity. Meanwhile, Neo wants to learn and improve its abilities, prioritizing intelligence and efficiency. While both robots are impressive, they bring up societal questions and challenges. AI robots like Ameca and Neo can bring lots of changes to society, some good and some bad. They can make learning and entertainment more exciting, help us with tough or boring jobs, and spark new creative ideas. But they also have their downsides. They might take over some people's jobs, question the importance of human values, or even harm us if they malfunction or are used wrongly. It's important that we design and use these robots properly so they benefit us and don't cause harm. AI and robotics have an exciting yet unpredictable future. These future AI robots will be smarter and more human-like, impacting how we live, work, and view ourselves. We're committed to guiding this future, ensuring ethical and responsible use of these technologies. Our goal is a world where humans and AI robots harmoniously coexist. All right, now let's talk about China's latest craze, human-like AI robots. So China is creating robots that look and act like us, but better apparently. First, let me introduce you to EX Robots, a company that specializes in making robots with real-time facial replication. That means they can copy your expressions and emotions in a blink of an eye. The CEO of EX Robots, Li Boyang, demonstrated this by making faces at a robot, who then mirrored them back at him. It was like watching a weird game of Simon Says, but with more wrinkles and less fun. X Robots claims that their robots can interact naturally with humans, thanks to AI and language models. They say they can understand what you say and respond accordingly. But what if I said, "Looking like a melted waxwork there, buddy"? Would they cry oily tears or just serve up some epic robo-repartee? I guess we'll have to wait and see. The technology behind these lifelike expressions is quite impressive, though. X Robots uses movable electric units on the robotic faces, which can simulate different muscles and movements. They also have a specialized system for generating expressions, either by using predefined scenarios or by collecting biological data from human faces. So basically, they can steal your smile and use it for themselves. How creepy is that? But facial expressions are not the only thing these robots can do. They can also perform various tasks and abilities that require skill and finesse. For example, there was a barista robot that could create latte art with precision and flair. It could draw anything from hearts to flowers to pandas on your coffee foam. I have to admit, that's pretty cool. There were also humanoid robots that could play basketball and dance like pros. They could dribble, shoot, pass, and dunk with ease. They could also groove to the music and execute complex choreographies with grace. They were powered by AI foundation models, which enable them to learn from data and improve their performance over time. They also have increased autonomic decision-making abilities, which means they can adapt to different situations and environments. These robots aren't just cool toys, they're seriously clever. For instance, there's this adorable panda robot named Yu by Ubtech. If you say, "I'm thirsty," it won't just look cute. It'll actually go get a drink from the fridge for you, even open the bottle and hand it to you. Then there's Cloud Ginger by Data Robotics. This guy is hooked up to the cloud and runs on Robot GPT, which is a special robot language-making model. What's cool is that Cloud Ginger can groove to traditional Chinese dances and chat with folks in different ways. Plus, if you speak a different language or have a special dialect, no worries. It can switch up and chat right back in your preferred language. But they are also more than just playthings for those into gadgets and gizmos. They're getting jobs in real places like schools, big meeting spots, fancy hotels, and elderly care facilities. EX Robots even says their robots can do the heavy lifting in different jobs, like cleaning up, keeping an eye on things, delivering stuff, and checking things out. Honestly, this is just them getting started. Imagine a future where these robots are everywhere, in factories, on farms, or even chilling in our living rooms. They might just end up being our pals, helping hands, our personal tutors, or even our buddies. But this also raises some questions and concerns. How will these robots affect our society and economy? How will they impact our jobs and livelihoods? How will they coexist with us in harmony or conflict? Well, according to China's Vice Minister of Industry and Information Technology, Xu Xiaolan, China is leading the world in the robot industry and has great potential for growth and innovation. He said that China aims to create a robot ecosystem that integrates manufacturing, service, education, medical care, entertainment, and other fields. He also said that China will promote the development of intelligent robots that are safe, reliable, adaptable, collaborative, and ethical. Sounds good on paper, but I'm not so sure about reality. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think these robots are amazing feats of engineering and creativity, but I also think they are kind of scary and unsettling. I mean, do we really need robots that look and act like us? Do we really want robots that can do everything we can do? Do we really trust robots that can think for themselves? One of the most controversial issues in the debate about AI is whether AI can ever be conscious. And if so, does that mean they deserve rights as humans do? I put this question out to you all earlier and you guys had some mixed feelings about it. Some say no way AIs are just fancy machines. They don't really feel or think, they just mimic us. Because they're not built like us, they can't experience things as we do. They're just tools. Others believe that if an AI gets advanced enough, it might just have feelings and self-awareness. It doesn't matter if they're made of silicon or cells. It's about how complex and organized they are. But hey, I'm still curious. A mecha is the most advanced human-like robot in the world, created by a British company named Engineered Arts. In this video, I'll share with you the newest updates about this robot and what it predicts for the future of people. Later in the video, we'll also discuss Microsoft's latest AI gadget, which is an AI backpack that can see and hear everything just like you do, and it acts as your personal companion. These are exciting times, aren't they? But before we dive into the details about the Mecha robot, please make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, so you can keep up with all the latest news and updates in the field of artificial intelligence. Alright, so as we all know, a mecha is a human-shaped robot that can walk, talk, and interact with people using artificial intelligence. It has a realistic face that can show a range of emotions, from happiness to anger. It also has cameras in its eyes that can recognize faces and expressions. And it can speak more than 100 languages, thanks to a powerful AI system that uses natural language processing and generation. It made headlines last year when it released a series of videos showing its facial expressions and movements. The videos went viral on social media and attracted millions of views. People were fascinated and terrified by how lifelike and expressive it was. Some even compared it to the Terminator or the replicants from Blade Runner. So is a mecha here to harm us or take control? Actually, it's really hopeful about the future and what it can do to help society. In recent talks with the media, a mecha gave its thoughts on what life will look like in 100 years, and it sounds quite interesting. The robot believes that in 100 years, people will be living better lives. We'll have made big improvements in being sustainable and fair.
We'll have made great strides towards sustainability and equality.
And we'll have new technologies that make life easier and more fun.
While also creating new technologies that make our lives easier and more enjoyable.
We might even have traveled to other planets.
We may even have ventured beyond the boundaries of Earth to explore other worlds.
It also thinks a future where humans and robots live together would be great. We could learn from each other, work as a team to fix issues, and make a better future for everyone. And it also believes that robots should also have rights and be treated well, just like people. Now, this idea of giving robots equal rights is something that makes me uneasy, but it seems like we're getting closer to making this unusual concept a reality. You might be curious about how a mecha can act like it has human thoughts and feelings. A mecha runs on an AI system that uses something called generative models. These models help it understand and speak our language, and even control its facial expressions and movements.
What does this action signify?
It's similar to GPT-4, one of the most advanced AI models out there. However, these generative models aren't perfect. They can make mistakes, and their behavior can be shaped by the data they've been trained on. They don't actually understand or reason, they just process information to act like they do. So does a mecha truly think and feel like us? Not really, but it does have some skills that make it appear more human. For instance, it can pause before answering a question, which makes it seem like it's thinking. It can also show signs of emotion and connect with people in a way that feels genuine. But these impressions are not necessarily accurate or reliable. They are based on our perception and interpretation of a mecha's behavior and appearance. We tend to anthropomorphize machines that look or act like humans because we are wired to do so by evolution. We project our own feelings and expectations onto them because we want to relate to them. This is why some people love a mecha and find it optimistic and inspiring, while others hate it and find it creepy or woke. The public reactions to a mecha's statements have been mixed and polarized. Some think it's hopeful and are impressed by what it can do, like helping to teach or care for older people. Others think it's too optimistic and worry about it doing jobs that need a lot of patience, like looking after people with dementia. The discussions about a mecha are part of a bigger conversation about the future of artificial intelligence and how it will affect us. As AI gets more advanced, we have to think about both the good and bad things that could happen. We need to make sure AI is safe and helpful for everyone. This means people from all areas like government, businesses, and research need to talk and work together. We need to create rules that make sure AI is both innovative and responsible. So, a mecha isn't just a robot. It's a glimpse into what the future of AI could be like. That future could be amazing but also risky, and it's something we all need to help shape. Blending the realms of space travel and robotics, Ji-hee Kim introduces an innovative creation. Laika, an AI-powered, realistic robot companion designed for human interaction. Ji-hee Kim is a Korean engineer and artist who is passionate about creating human-robot interactions. She was inspired by the story of Laika, the first animal to orbit the Earth in 1957. Laika was a stray dog from the streets of Moscow, who was sent to space by the Soviet Union as part of the Sputnik 2 mission. Unfortunately, the dog did not survive the journey, and her fate sparked a lot of controversy and debate about the ethics of animal testing in space. And Laika is not just a toy or a gadget, but almost a living being that can interact with humans and respond to their needs and emotions. When you first see it, you'll be struck by its realistic, almost natural look. Ji-hee Kim aimed to make a robot dog that fits right into the natural world, avoiding a too robotic appearance. To achieve this, she skillfully combined 3D printing with soft materials for a flexible and smooth body. She even added fur and whiskers for that extra touch of realism. Underneath, Leica's titanium skeleton gives it strength and durability while keeping it light and nimble. The robot dog can move its head, ears, tail, and legs in ways that seem quite natural, all thanks to its advanced joint movements and sensors. Leica comes loaded with an array of sensors to understand and engage with its environment. It's equipped with depth cameras, thermal imaging, microphones, speakers, and touch sensors, letting it see, hear, feel, and talk to humans and other robots. Another cool feature is Leica's ability to check on astronauts' health and mood, using its ECG sensors, which track heart rate and stress levels. If Leica senses someone is feeling down or alone, it can show affection by wagging its tail, licking, or cuddling. And when it detects happiness or excitement, it might bark, jump around, or play. And this robot isn't just a space companion, it's also a handy helper for astronauts. It's designed to do a lot of different jobs that help out the crew during their space missions. With its cameras and sensors, Leica can scout the area and gather important data. It's got this flexible handle on its back, so it can carry tools and equipment too. Plus, it can talk to ground control and other robots through its speakers and microphones, and even connect to the internet to pull up information on its head-mounted screen. One of the coolest things about Leica is how it works with these special mixed reality glasses. Ji-hee Kim created it to work perfectly with these glasses, which show holograms and virtual images in the real world. When astronauts wear these glasses, they can interact with Leica in a way that feels more real. They also get to see extra info this robot provides, like maps, weather updates, and important alerts. These glasses make teaming up with Leica and talking to ground control much better. They're even useful for training, as they can simulate different scenarios for astronauts to practice. Essentially, Leica is a groundbreaking robot dog with the potential to really change space travel. It could help astronauts feel less stressed, lonely, or bored. By assisting with their tasks, Leica could also boost their work efficiency. It's not just about space, though. Leica's experiences could teach and inspire people back on Earth. It could even be used in different situations, like helping out in disasters, search and rescue operations, or as a therapy aid. Leica honors the first animal in space, showcasing human creativity and the drive to explore. This robot dog represents a new chapter in supporting space travelers, potentially transforming our experience of space travel. All right, that wraps up our video. I really hope you found it interesting to learn about Leica, the AI-powered robot dog. So Tesla has just unveiled its latest and greatest project, Optimus Gen 2, an AI humanoid robot that looks like a futuristic knight in armor. It has almost human-like hand movements, a lighter weight than its predecessor, and an enhanced walking speed. It also has custom-designed actuators and sensors that allow it to perform complex tasks with ease. Now, to understand the difference between the new Optimus, we need to talk about the original Optimus that Tesla first introduced back in August 2021 at their AI Day. The idea was to make a robot that could do tasks humans don't want to, like helping in factories or dealing with dangerous waste. Back then, Optimus looked more like a person in a robot costume than an actual robot. It was rolled out on stage, waved its hand, and did some simple moves. Elon Musk hoped to have a working model by 2022. Since then, Tesla has been busy making Optimus look and act more like a real robot. In September 2022, they showed off two versions of it at their second AI Day. One was named Bumble C, and it walked very carefully, almost like it was trying not to wake someone up. The other was the Optimus we know today. This version of Optimus had smoother, more human-like movements in its hands. It could move its arms and head on its own. But it still couldn't walk alone, so it had to be brought on stage with wheels. Elon Musk mentioned that he hoped to start making these robots for real by 2023. So far, things are looking promising. But there's still a lot we don't know about the final version of Optimus, including how it will manage balance and control, possibly using technology from Tesla's autopilot. We're also curious about its ability to interact with humans and adapt to new environments and tasks. Finally, how Optimus will communicate with other robots or devices remains an intriguing question. But before diving too deep, let's focus on some of the key technical features that make the Optimus Gen 2 really stand out. A major highlight of this robot is its hands. They are built to move in all directions thanks to something called 11 degrees of freedom. This flexibility lets the hands do precise work, like picking up items or using tools. What's even more impressive is that these hands can sense touch. They have a special skin-like covering that can bend and stretch without damage. This covering is filled with sensors that can feel pressure, temperature, humidity, and even vibrations, which makes the robot's hands incredibly sensitive and versatile. Now, the new Optimus Gen 2 robot is really advanced with its tactile sensing. This means it can feel things around it in a way no other robot can, understanding if something is hot, cold, heavy, light, smooth, or rough. This helps it to interact in a more human-like way. What's also impressive is how fast it can walk, around 4 miles per hour, and it can move its head and neck by itself, which is great for looking around or talking. Elon Musk says Optimus Gen 2 is smart enough to learn from what happens around it. It can figure out how to use new things, solve problems, or even learn how to chat with new people or animals.
You work for Sean?
Yeah, I'm Sean.
What's up, man?
Good, if you do that again, you're gonna get hurt.
May I take your luggage?
But what about the applications of Optimus Gen 2? How will this robot benefit humanity? Well, there are a bunch of ways this robot could be really useful in different areas. First, in manufacturing, think of Optimus as a helping hand in factories. It could do stuff like lifting heavy things, putting parts together, or checking if things are made right. Basically, it can handle the tough or boring jobs. Then there's construction work. Optimus could be a game changer on building sites, doing heavy lifting, digging, or clearing up messes. In our homes or offices, Optimus could make life easier by doing chores or providing services. Imagine it bringing you stuff, cleaning up, or even giving foot massages. In schools or universities, Optimus could step in as a teacher. It could explain difficult topics, show cool experiments, or answer students' questions. For fun, Optimus could be an entertainer in parks or theaters. It could play games, crack jokes, or even sing.
Hey man, I got some valuables in there. Can you just be careful?
Yeah, man. No problem.
Oh, dude, come on, man.
Alright, now LG, a well-known electronics company, is all set to amaze everyone at CES 2024 with their latest creation, a small, friendly robot designed to make life at home easier and more enjoyable. This announcement, made just a few hours ago, is already creating quite a buzz. This adorable robot from LG stands about a foot tall and walks on 2 legs. It's not just for show. This little helper is packed with advanced technology to take care of your house. It can wander around your home, checking for any issues, keeping an eye on your pets, and even understanding how you feel to make your day better. Thanks to the Qualcomm Robotics RB5 platform, the robot gets smarter over time, learning about your likes and habits to become an even better companion. LG refers to this robot as a moving smart home hub, aimed at reducing the chores you have to do around the house. And it seems to do just that. Scheduled to be showcased at CES 2024 next week, the robot can connect with all the smart devices in your house. It can turn devices off when they're not needed or when you're not home. Plus, it can patrol your home, checking if windows are shut or if lights are left on, and alert you about it. When you're out, the robot isn't just sitting idle. It can keep an eye on your pets and even let you watch live video feeds to see what your furry friends are up to when you're away. It's also smart enough to monitor your home's temperature, humidity, and air quality, alerting you if something isn't right. But the robot's abilities don't end there. When you come home, it greets you at the door and can figure out how you're feeling by looking at your face and listening to your voice. Depending on your mood, it can play music or sounds to cheer you up. And if you tend to forget things like medication schedules, the robot can help remind you. To do all this, the robot is equipped with a camera, speaker, and various sensors. These help it understand what's happening in your home, from air quality to potential problems. It also uses voice and image recognition software, along with the ability to process natural language, to identify and respond to issues as they arise. This robot is part of LG's bigger plan to introduce a range of smart home products that aim to make your life easier, fitting into their vision of a zero-labor home. Whether or not people will be comfortable with a robot that follows them and their pets around the house all day is yet to be seen. LG is excited to display this robot at their CES booth next week, but they haven't shared any details about the price or when it will be available for purchase.
So, Covariant, an innovative company in the field of robotics, is using the advanced AI that powers digital tools like ChatGPT to create robots that can operate in the physical environment. They want to use this technology to make robots that can work and learn in the real world, not just online. Founded by 3 former researchers from OpenAI, Covariant is making strides in the robotics industry by developing software that enables robots to learn and adapt through observation and interaction with their surroundings, much like how chatbots learn from vast repositories of textual data. Situated in Emeryville, California, Covariant focuses on enhancing the capabilities of robots used in warehouses and distribution centers. The essence of their technology lies in providing robots with an understanding of their environment, allowing them to perform tasks such as picking up, moving, and sorting items with an unprecedented level of sophistication. These robots, equipped with the ability to comprehend English, offer the possibility of human-like interaction, enabling operators to communicate with them as if they were conversing with a chatbot like ChatGPT. At the heart of Covariant's innovation is the integration of sensory data from cameras and other sensors with the extensive textual data similar to that used to train chatbots. This combination grants the robots a comprehensive understanding of their surroundings, empowering them to handle objects and situations they have not been explicitly programmed to deal with. For instance, a covariant robot can identify and manipulate a banana by understanding instructions given in English, even if it has never encountered a banana before. This capability is a significant departure from traditional robotics, where machines perform a limited set of tasks in a highly controlled environment. Despite the promising advancements, Covariant's technology is not infallible. The robots occasionally make errors, such as misunderstanding instructions or dropping objects. These shortcomings highlight the challenges inherent in applying AI to physical tasks, where the complexity of the real world introduces variables that are difficult to anticipate and manage. Nonetheless, Covariant's work represents a critical step forward in the quest to create more intelligent, adaptable robots capable of operating in diverse environments, from warehouses to manufacturing plants and potentially even in autonomous vehicles. The foundation of Covariant's technology is built on neural networks, a form of AI inspired by the human brain's structure. These networks learn to recognize patterns and make decisions based on the analysis of large data sets. This learning process is similar to the development of digital AI applications, such as chatbots and image generators, which understand or create content by digesting vast amounts of information from the internet. By applying these principles to robotics, Covariant is enabling machines to learn from both digital data and sensory input from the physical world, blurring the lines between the digital and physical realms. Covariant's ambitious project is backed by substantial financial support, with $222 million in funding, underscoring the industry's confidence in their approach. The company's focus on developing software rather than physical robots themselves allows for a versatile application of their technology across various sectors and types of robotic systems. This strategy aims to pave the way for broader adoption and innovation in the field of robotics, making robots more accessible and useful in a wide range of applications. The potential impact of Covariant's technology is vast, promising to transform how robots are deployed in numerous settings. By making robots more adaptable and capable of understanding and interacting with their environment in complex ways, Covariant is contributing to a future where machines can take on more sophisticated tasks, work alongside humans more effectively, and adapt to new challenges as they arise. This vision aligns with the broader trend of AI integration into our daily lives, where technology not only automates tasks, but also enhances human capabilities and experiences. Covariant's work also raises important questions about the future of work and the role of robots in society. As robots become more capable and versatile, they may assume responsibilities currently held by humans, leading to shifts in the labor market and necessitating discussions about retraining and education. Furthermore, the development of intelligent robots highlights ethical considerations, such as ensuring safety and managing the potential for AI systems to act in unpredictable ways. Covariant's efforts to bring AI technology from the digital world into the physical domain through robotics represents a significant leap forward in the field. By combining sensory data with the textual data used to train AI systems like ChatGPT, Covariant is enabling robots to understand and interact with their environment in ways that were previously unimaginable. Although challenges remain, the potential for this technology to revolutionize industries, enhance human-robot collaboration, and create new opportunities is immense. Guys, this is finally happening. There's a new reality where just thinking can make you play games, move stuff on a screen, and even control computers. This isn't some far-off dream. It's happening right now with Elon Musk's Neuralink. They just showed the world something that sounds unimaginable. Yet it's real, a person playing chess on the internet without moving, just using his thoughts. This isn't just a cool story, it's a whole new beginning. It's where thinking and technology come together, opening doors to things we've only dreamed about. Here we are, standing at the edge of something huge, where dreams, tech, and the power of our minds are changing everything. So in a groundbreaking event, Neuralink has captured global attention by live streaming its first ever patient using a brain chip to play online chess. The patient, 29-year-old Nolan Arbaugh, became paralyzed below the shoulders after a tragic diving accident. Thanks to Neuralink's innovative technology, he can now control a computer cursor with nothing but his thoughts, reintroducing him to activities like playing his favorite game, Civilization VI, for hours on end. The live stream, which aired on Musk's social media platform X, showcased Arbaugh maneuvering through the chess game on his laptop using the Neuralink device. This technology aims to empower individuals to interact with computers through thought alone, bypassing traditional physical interfaces. Musk previously mentioned that Arbaugh had been implanted with the Neuralink chip in January, which enabled him to control a computer mouse through thought. According to Arbaugh, the surgery was super easy, and he was discharged from the hospital just a day later without any cognitive impairments. However, Arbaugh and Musk are quick to remind everyone that this technology is still in its infancy. While Arbaugh's life has significantly improved, allowing him to engage in activities he thought were lost to him, he notes that the journey is far from over. The technology is not perfect, and they've encountered some issues along the way, signaling a long road ahead filled with improvements and enhancements. Kip Ludwig, a former program director for neural engineering at the U.S. National Institutes of Health, echoed this sentiment. He stated that while what Neuralink has demonstrated is far from a breakthrough, it represents a vital step forward for the patient and the field of neural engineering. It's still early days for the implant, and both Neuralink and Arbaugh are learning to maximize control and interaction capabilities. However, the fact that Arbaugh can interact with a computer in ways he couldn't before is a positive development. Adding to the intrigue, Neuralink has been under scrutiny by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which found issues with record keeping and quality controls for animal experiments. This came shortly after Neuralink announced it had received clearance to test its brain implants in humans. The company had not responded to inquiries regarding the FDA's findings at the time. During the live stream, Arbaugh shared his astonishment at the technology, comparing it to using the Force from the Star Wars films to move the cursor on his screen. This intuitive control mechanism has transformed his interaction with technology, making everyday tasks feasible once again. Musk, on the other hand, has been promoting this demonstration as an example of telepathy, showcasing the potential for humans to control computers purely through thought. Neuralink's achievements come in the wake of similar efforts by other companies, such as Australia-based Synchron. Synchron has also developed a brain-computer interface, albeit through a less invasive method that doesn't require surgery on the skull. They successfully implanted their device in a patient back in July 2022, indicating a growing interest and advancement in the field of neural technology. Elon Musk took to Twitter to celebrate this milestone, calling it a demonstration of telepathy, the ability to control a computer and play video games by merely thinking. This event not only marks a significant step for Neuralink, but also sets the stage for future innovations. Musk teased the next product, Blindsight, aimed at restoring vision for those born blind, signaling Neuralink's ambitious roadmap ahead. We're right at the edge of a huge change in the way we use technology, and it's just the start for Neuralink. Sure, the tech isn't perfect and there are some bumps along the way, but the chance to really make a difference in people's lives is huge. Seeing Arbaugh play chess with just his thoughts gives us a peek into a future where we're not just solving problems with tools and gadgets, but with the incredible power of our minds. Just one day after retiring its older hydraulic model, Boston Dynamics has introduced a new electric version of its Atlas robot. This marks a significant shift away from the noisy hydraulic mechanisms that characterized previous models. Now, Atlas is powered by an electric motor, which, although not silent, offers a quieter operation that contrasts sharply with the hydraulic system's distinctive sounds. The unveiling of this new version was captured in a compelling video. It opens with Atlas lying prone on a set of interlocking gym mats, accompanied only by the soft whirring of its new electric motor. As the camera pans around, the robot begins a seemingly natural motion of bending its legs at the knees. This movement, initially reminiscent of human action, soon crosses into an uncanny valley, evoking a feeling similar to a scene from a Sam Raimi film. This clever maneuver allows Atlas to shift from lying on its back to standing upright, facing away from the camera. It then performs an eerie rotation of its head, followed by its torso, completing a 180-degree turn to face the camera directly. The robot's face, featuring a ring light around a perfectly round screen, then rotates back as Atlas strides off the mats and out of the frame. This new electric Atlas is not just a technological evolution, but also a symbolic one, mirroring the transformative moment when Bob Dylan famously switched from acoustic to electric guitar. The motion of the new Atlas, while still showing some jerky movements, is notably smoother and more fluid compared to many of the commercial humanoids introduced in recent years. This progress illustrates a level of mechanical sophistication that brings to mind the confident and fluid movements of Spot, another robot from Boston Dynamics, suggesting a familial resemblance in their design philosophies. The physical appearance of Atlas has undergone a radical transformation. Gone are the bulky torso and awkward bowed legs covered in protective plating, replaced by a streamlined, cable-free frame that bears more resemblance to contemporary robots like Agility's Digit and Aptronic's Apollo. This redesign leans towards a softer, more approachable aesthetic, eschewing the intimidating utilitarian look of past models for a friendlier, cartoonish appearance. Despite these substantial changes, Boston Dynamics has chosen to retain the Atlas name, continuing the legacy of its well-known brand into this new commercial phase. This decision contrasts with previous practices where research names were changed upon commercial release, such as Spot Mini becoming Spot and Handle becoming Stretch. In an interview with TechCrunch, Boston Dynamics CEO Robert Plater discussed the company's strategy and future plans for Atlas. He highlighted that while the branding remains unchanged for now, it might be revisited as the project progresses toward mass production. The CEO also outlined the company's timeline, which includes starting pilot testing of the electric Atlas at Hyundai facilities early next year, with broader manufacturing goals set for the subsequent years. Plater emphasized the importance of understanding specific use cases to ensure that the investment in robotics is justified by sufficient productivity gains. He revealed that experiments with Hyundai are already underway, indicating a collaborative effort in refining the robot's design and functionality. The flexibility and range of motion in the new Atlas are particularly noteworthy. According to Plater, the robot incorporates custom high-powered actuators at most joints, which afford it the power and agility of an elite athlete. This capability is not just for show. It has practical implications in industrial applications where robots must perform complex, dynamic tasks reliably. Boston Dynamics is known for its viral videos that often highlight the agility and dexterity of its robots in dramatic, even theatrical ways. While these demonstrations are visually impressive and entertaining, they also serve a practical purpose by showcasing the robot's capabilities in scenarios that might occur in real-world settings. For example, the video's depiction of Atlas starting from a prone position and then standing up underscores its ability to recover from falls, an essential feature for maintaining productivity without human intervention in industrial environments. The design choices extend to the robot's hands, which now feature 3 fingers instead of the more human-like 4 or 5. This simplification reduces mechanical complexity and enhances durability, crucial for repetitive industrial tasks. The robot's head has also been redesigned, now featuring a large round screen that adds a touch of friendliness and enhances interaction capabilities, which Plater notes will be critical as robots increasingly work alongside humans. Overall, the new electric Atlas is a big step forward in the world of humanoid robots, combining high-tech features with smart designs to meet the growing needs of businesses and factories. As Boston Dynamics keeps improving this robot, everyone in the industry will be watching closely. They're eager to see how these new features will actually help improve efficiency and productivity in the real world. So a company called Sanctuary AI just announced a major collaboration with none other than Microsoft, and it's all about accelerating the development of next-gen AI models for general-purpose robots. This is huge. Now, for those not familiar with Sanctuary AI, let me give you a quick rundown. These folks are on an ambitious mission to create the world's first human-like intelligence in general-purpose robots. Yeah, we're talking about artificial general intelligence, or AGI, the holy grail of AI that can truly understand and interact with the world just like us humans. But here's the thing, Sanctuary AI isn't just some scrappy startup talking big game. These guys have some serious pedigree. We're talking founders from pioneering companies like D-Wave, the first commercial quantum computing firm, Kindred, which introduced reinforcement learning to production robots, and the Creative Destruction Lab, known for innovative science commercialization. Their team is stacked with veterans from tech titans like Amazon, Microsoft, and SoftBank Robotics. In other words, these folks have been at the forefront of some of the most groundbreaking innovations in AI, robotics, and computing. So when they make bold claims about pushing the boundaries of AGI, you can't help but take them seriously. So what exactly does this collaboration with Microsoft entail? Well, it's all about harnessing the power of Microsoft's Azure cloud to supercharge the development of what Sanctuary AI calls large behavior models, or LBMs. Think of these as the next evolution beyond large language models like GPT AI systems designed to learn from and understand real-world experiences and interactions. By leveraging Azure's massive computing resources for training, inference, networking, and storage, Sanctuary AI can turbocharge their efforts in developing these cutting-edge LBMs, which are critical stepping stones on the path to achieving AGI. Now, just a few weeks ago, Sanctuary AI unveiled the 7th generation of their flagship robot, Phoenix, and the upgrades and improvements they've packed into this latest iteration are nothing short of mind-blowing. We're talking increased uptime, enhanced visual perception, improved tactile sensing, and get this, an expanded range of human-like motion in the wrists, hands, and elbows. This thing is designed to mimic the dexterity and range of motion of an actual human, which is just insane when you think about it. And here's the cool part. Sanctuary AI has achieved all of these advancements in just 11 months since their 6th Gen Phoenix robot, which was one of Time's best inventions of 2023. They've been moving forward really fast, and it's almost hard to believe. According to Sanctuary AI's CEO, Jordy Rose, this 7th Gen Phoenix is one of the most sophisticated human behavioral data capture technologies available today. Essentially, it's providing their Carbon AI control system with some of the highest quality, highest fidelity training data out there, which is critical for developing those advanced LBMs and pushing towards AGI. But perhaps the most mind-blowing stat of all is that the time it takes to automate new tasks has been slashed from weeks to less than 24 hours. That's a 50x increase in automation speed, marking a pivotal moment in the capability of autonomous systems. Just let that sink in for a second, automating complex tasks in under a day. The potential applications across industries like manufacturing, logistics, and more are staggering. Now, Sanctuary AI is making some seriously bold claims here, stating that this 7th Gen system is the closest analog to a human of any available robot today. That's a hefty assertion, no doubt, but coming from a team with the pedigree and track record that these folks have, you can't just dismiss it out of hand. Of course, with any groundbreaking technology, there are always ethical considerations and potential risks to weigh. The development of advanced AI and robotics is no exception, with concerns around safety, transparency, unintended consequences, and the impact on human labor looming large. To their credit, Sanctuary AI seems acutely aware of these issues. They've stressed a commitment to responsible development and addressing labor challenges in a way that augments human workers, not replaces them. The name Sanctuary itself is meant to convey a controlled, secure environment for nurturing AI responsibly before commercial deployment. Make no mistake, the road ahead is sure to be filled with immense challenges, both technical and ethical. But if companies like Sanctuary AI and their all-star teams can continue this blistering pace of innovation while keeping responsible development at the forefront, we may just witness some truly mind-bending breakthroughs in the coming years. The age of ubiquitous, multi-purpose robotic assistants powered by human-like artificial intelligence is on the horizon, and with visionary pioneers and powerful partnerships like this one leading the charge, that future might be a lot closer than any of us could have imagined. So Unitree just dropped the trailer for their new Unitree G1 humanoid robot, and this thing is mind-blowing. The flexibility, proficiency, and overall capabilities of this robot are really something else. I'm going to explain and show you exactly why this robot is such a game changer. Alright, so there's a lot to unpack here, and this robot is genuinely revolutionary. First off, you might have noticed that it looks kind of similar to Boston Dynamics' recently unveiled Atlas robot. Now, I don't think Unitree managed to create this robot in just the 3 weeks since that trailer came out. Something like this takes a long time to develop. But what it does show is that Unitree is evolving faster than a lot of people expected. And they're delivering some seriously impressive tech at a relatively affordable price point. The G1 starts at just $16,000, which is cheaper than any other humanoid robot with these kinds of capabilities. One of the things that really stood out to me in this demo was the insane flexibility and range of motion. As you can see here, this robot can swivel around in ways that humans simply can't, and its legs have a much greater range of motion. They've also managed to internalize the wiring using hollow joint technology, which allows for more efficient movement and a more compact design. This trailer really hammers home the fact that the robot race is on. I don't think anyone predicted that Unitree would release something like this so soon. I would have expected it to come from a company like Boston Dynamics first. And while Boston Dynamics might be using hydraulic actuators or fully electric systems, the G1's movement capabilities suggest that it's going to be able to handle a huge range of tasks that we might not have even considered yet. Another thing that really impressed me was the robot's stability when taking impacts. Now, I'm not saying we should go around punching robots. That might not end well if they decide to rebel against us down the line, but in all seriousness, the fact that this robot can take a solid hit to the chest and remain completely stable is a remarkable feat of engineering. In real-world applications, robots might encounter things like wind, debris, or unexpected collisions, and being able to stay upright and keep functioning in those situations is hugely important. Most humans would probably hit the ground if they took a punch like that, so this is a really exciting development. We've seen similar demonstrations of stability from Unitree before with their H1 robot, but the G1 takes it to a whole new level. If you tried this with most other humanoid robots on the market, they'd topple over in an instant. The fact that Unitree has achieved this level of stability without even using external support cables is mind-blowing. Usually in these kinds of robotics demos, you'll see the robot tethered to the ceiling or something to prevent falls, because balance is one of the biggest challenges in the early stages of development. But Unitree has created a robot that can take a beating and stay on its feet with all the wiring hidden internally. That's a massive accomplishment. The speed of the G1 is also really impressive. It can reach speeds of up to 3.3 meters per second, which is just shy of the world record set by Unitree's previous robot. For context, that's about 2 meters per second, which is almost a running pace. We haven't seen anything close to that from other humanoid robotics companies. The Tesla bot, for example, can walk pretty smoothly, but it's not moving nearly as fast as this. And I can't imagine they'd be too eager to have someone kick it around to test its stability. So in terms of overall performance, I'd argue that the Unitree G1 is probably one of the best humanoid robots out there right now. One of the things that absolutely blew me away was the robot's ability to learn tasks through simulation and then apply them in the real world. Using imitation and reinforcement learning, they can train the robot to perform complex actions in a simulated environment like NVIDIA's Isaac Sim, and then transfer those skills to the physical robot. Watching it move, you can see how precise and subtle the joint movements are, and the fact that it can maintain its balance while performing these tasks autonomously is staggering. This has huge implications for robotics research because until now, most humanoid platforms have been really expensive, which makes them hard to access for a lot of labs and universities. The Unitree H1, for example, was a great research platform, but its high cost was a big barrier. With the G1 coming in at a lower price point, we're going to see a lot more people getting their hands on this tech and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And then there are the hands. Previous Unitree robots were criticized for their lack of dexterous manipulators, but the G1 has hands that can grasp and manipulate objects with incredible precision. It can crush a walnut, flip a piece of bread, and even pop open a soda can, like it's nothing. The level of control and fine motor skills on display here is just insane. They also mentioned something called the Unitree Robot Unified Large Model, which seems to be some kind of AI system that allows the robot to perform these tasks autonomously. There aren't a lot of details available yet, but I'm guessing it's a machine learning model that's been trained on a huge data set of simulated and real-world interactions. As more information comes out, I'll be sure to update you all. One of the other key things they demonstrate is the robot's ability to perform very precise movements, like soldering electronic components. This opens up a whole new range of potential applications in fields like manufacturing and assembly. But perhaps the most exciting thing about the G1 is its price. At just $16,000 for the base model, it's nearly 10 times cheaper than Unitree's previous humanoid robot, which was listed at around $150,000 $100,000. That's a massive leap in affordability, and it's going to make this technology accessible to a much wider range of researchers and developers. We've already seen some of the incredible things that people have been doing with Unitree's H1 platform. For example, researchers at Shanghai Tech and Mars Lab recently presented a framework for humanoid parkour learning, which allows the robot to navigate rough terrain, jump onto high platforms, leap over hurdles, and more, all using only vision and proprioception. It's a fully end-to-end system, which is a huge accomplishment in the field of robotics. The problem is that a lot of academic labs struggle to get funding for this kind of research because they simply can't afford the expensive hardware. But with the G1, we're going to see an explosion of new projects and discoveries. I mean, the H1 could do a full backflip, which is just mind-boggling for a robot with such basic actuators. Imagine what people are going to do with the G1's advanced capabilities. So, to sum up, the Unitree G1 is an absolute game changer. Its combination of flexibility, stability, dexterity, and affordability is unparalleled, and it's going to open up a whole new world of possibilities in the field of robotics. I cannot wait to see what researchers and developers do with this platform once it starts shipping in the next few months. The robotics race is heating up, and Unitree has just shown that China is a serious contender on the global stage. They're innovating at an incredible pace, and they're making this technology accessible in a way that no one else has done before. So keep an eye on Unitree. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more groundbreaking developments from them in the very near future. Now here's some interesting news from the United Arab Emirates. This announcement comes from Abu Dhabi's Technology Innovation Institute, also known as TII. They've launched the Falcon 2 series, featuring two impressive models, Falcon 211B and Falcon 211B VLM. So Falcon 211B is, as they say, a super powerful text-based AI designed to understand and generate human-like text. Meanwhile, Falcon 211B VLM is a vision-to-language model. This means it can take an image and generate a detailed text description of it. Let's talk about why the UAE is making such big moves in AI. Known for its vast oil reserves, the UAE is now pouring massive investments into artificial intelligence. This shift hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, US officials took note last year, issuing a strong ultimatum for the UAE to choose between American and Chinese tech. In response, Emirati AI firm G42 cut ties with Chinese companies, paving the way for a whopping $1.5 billion investment from Microsoft. This strategic pivot was carefully coordinated with Washington, showcasing the UAE's serious commitment to advancing in the AI space. The release of Falcon 2 comes as countries and companies worldwide are racing to develop their own large language models. And while some companies keep their AI tech proprietary, others, like the UAE's Falcon and Meta's Llama, are going open source. Looking ahead, the UAE's substantial investments in AI are positioning the country as a significant player on the global tech stage. The Falcon 2 series is just the beginning, with the anticipated Falcon 3 already in the works. So a new AI humanoid robot has been unveiled by a company called Robotics, and it's pretty crazy. This robot, called X-Hand, is apparently a game changer in the world of embodied AI. Now, embodied AI is all about creating robots that can interact with the real world just like humans do, and this X-Hand robot seems to be taking things to the next level. So it has 12 active degrees of freedom, which means it can move and bend in all sorts of ways, just like human bodies. It's also got built-in tactile sensors, so it can actually feel and sense things it touches. And the control precision is supposed to be top-notch, allowing for smooth and reliable movements. But here's the kicker: Robotics claims that the technology behind X-Hand is fully self-developed, which is pretty impressive for a relatively new player in the robotics and AI game. They were only founded in 2023, but they're already pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Now, we don't know how much this robot is going to cost or when it'll be available to the public, because Robotics is keeping those details under wraps for now. But from what they've shown us, it looks like X-Hand is specifically designed to embody AI, which could be a big deal as we get closer to achieving AGI. And speaking of AGI, there's been a lot of hype lately about it potentially happening sooner rather than later. I'm not even joking around. Some experts are saying we might be on the verge of a breakthrough in this field. Now let's talk a bit more about Robotics and what they've been up to. They're focused on developing general-purpose humanoid robots, which is pretty ambitious stuff. One of their main projects is called Humanoid Gym, which uses reinforcement learning to train robots to perform tasks in a way that mimics human capabilities. They're using this cool concept called zero-shot sim to real transfer, which basically means they can train the robots in a simulated environment first and then deploy them in the real world without any additional training. But enough talking from me. Let's check out this X-Hand robot in action and see what it can really do. Robot Era has released a showcase video, and I've got to say, the capabilities they're demonstrating are pretty fascinating. Let's roll that footage and see what this bad boy can do. You might remember a little while back when I covered Robot Era, that ambitious startup that unveiled their crazy dexterous X-Hand AI robot. Well, they just one-upped themselves in a major way by becoming the first company ever to have a full-size humanoid robot walk on the Great Wall of China. So their latest robot, called the Xbot L, conquered one of the most iconic and challenging landscapes in the world, the ancient stone pathways and steep stairs of the Great Freaking Wall of China. This is a huge milestone not just for Robotera, but for humanoid robotics as a whole. So, a 5'5", 165 centimeters tall robot, looking kind of like a slimmed down Terminator, marching its way across those uneven century-old stone surfaces without faltering. It was waving hello, practicing kung fu moves, climbing up and down stairs, the whole 9 yards. And to be honest, the Great Wall is no walk in the park, even for us humans. Those paths are cracked. The stairs are crazy steep with no railings. There are random potholes everywhere. It's an obstacle course designed to trip up any bipedal robot. But the Xbot L handled it all with surprising ease thanks to Robotera's advanced perceptive reinforcement learning algorithms. Basically, this robot can actually perceive and make sense of its environment in real time using sensors and AI. It can identify obstacles, changes in terrain, and literally adapt its walking gait and balance on the fly to deal with whatever the Great Wall throws at it. According to Yue Shi, one of the co-founders, their perceptive reinforcement learning tech gives the Xbot L something like human-level awareness and decision-making capabilities in unfamiliar environments. The robot can essentially think for itself about the best way to navigate complex areas safely and efficiently. And we're not just talking about some basic pre-programmed motions here. The Xbot L was climbing rugged castle stairs, dealing with slopes and inclines, avoiding obstacles, adapting to poor lighting conditions, all without any human guidance or help. It was basically pulling off the kind of adaptive, intelligent, situationally aware movement that we associate with people. Robotera says this was one of the biggest challenges, developing end-to-end AI algorithms that could translate perceived data from the robot's sensors into precise, stable locomotion in the real world across an ultra-complex environment like the Great Wall. Sounds like they cracked that nut though, based on this demo. What's really crazy is that this Great Wall feat comes just a couple weeks after they showed off the X-Hand dexterous robot I mentioned earlier. Between these two products, it's clear Robot Era is going all in on embodied AI, building robots with human-like physical capabilities to operate in our world. And they're not messing around either. Despite only being founded in 2023, they've already invested heavily into cutting-edge AI tech like reinforcement learning, neural networks, sim-to-real transfer, and more. Basically, everything needed to create robots that can tackle the real world just like we do. Their goal seems to be keeping that competitive edge by iterating and churning out smarter, more capable humanoid robot products at a rapid pace. And they want to keep perfecting ways to transfer all that AI training from simulations into physical machines, enabling those robots to become more versatile in real-life scenarios. The end game seems to be developing ultra-flexible, general-purpose humanoid robots for countless valuable sustainable applications across industries like manufacturing, healthcare, services, and more. I've got to give Roboterra props. Deliberately putting their robot through the ringer on the Great Wall as some kind of extreme stress test shows serious confidence in their tech. Most companies would avoid something that risky with a brand new product, but the fact that the XBot L could pull it off so smoothly is really impressive. It's an amazing proof of concept for their embodied AI approach and perceptive reinforcement learning systems working in one of the toughest real-world environments. To me, this demonstrates Roboterra's outstanding core capabilities in fields like robotics, AI, mechatronics, and more. They are clearly at the cutting edge when it comes to embodied intelligence and making it work reliably in the real world. I'm really looking forward to whatever crazy robot Roboterra comes up with next. If they keep raising the bar like this, they could legitimately help usher in the age of advanced human-like robots that can operate autonomously in our world on an unprecedented level. We're potentially on the cusp of some big breakthroughs in artificial general intelligence, or AGI, becoming a reality over the next few years. And if anyone can build the physical robotic bodies to house and manifest that future AGI, it might just be an ambitious little pioneer like Roboterra. When it comes to developing super advanced AI systems like AGI, the situation with whistleblowers at OpenAI shows just how high the stakes really are. Roboterra's achievement with their robot on the Great Wall is definitely impressive from an embodied AI perspective, but achievements like that could potentially seem tiny compared to the impacts, both positive and negative, that creating a general artificial intelligence on the same level as human cognition could have on society. On one hand, AGI represents this incredible technological breakthrough that could help solve countless challenges humanity is facing, from unsolved scientific mysteries to global crises. A generalized AI mind that matches human intelligence has always been viewed as something that could be a catalyst for transformative advances across every field. But on the other hand, the existential risks of an unaligned, super-intelligent AGI that's smarter than humans simply can't be overstated. We're talking about the potential for an advanced AI system to break free from human control, with catastrophic consequences for our species and the planet, if it's not developed safely and responsibly. The OpenAI insiders are ringing alarm bells about this exact scenario playing out. They allege the company is recklessly rushing towards AGI supremacy without taking proper safety precautions, driven more by competitive pressures to be first rather than doing it the right way. Damning claims like OpenAI ignoring their own safety review processes, muzzling employees with really strict non-disparagement agreements, and deprioritizing safety work after founding members raised concerns paint a very worrying picture. If true, it suggests one of the leading AI labs is taking an extremely risky and unethical approach in this existential race for AGI. The fact that respected researchers like Ilya Sutskever felt compelled to resign due to OpenAI's perceived lack of commitment to keeping AGI safe and aligned only adds more credibility to the whistleblowers' grievances, in my opinion. Their letter calling for greater transparency, protecting employees, and ultimately having the government regulate this powerful technology to keep bad actors in check feels like a reasonable and perhaps necessary step to prevent potential disaster scenarios. Because let's be real, we simply can't afford a situation where the first super-intelligent AGI that emerges is catastrophically misaligned with human ethics and values. Exercising restraint and prioritizing responsible development have to be the top priorities. Of course, the whistleblowers likely have some level of bias given their philosophical views and ties to effective altruism movements, so I'd encourage taking more of a neutral stance personally. But even accounting for that bias, the sheer magnitude of what's at stake with AGI certainly warrants a strong commitment to prioritizing safety measures and ethical boundaries over competitive pressures and commercial interests from companies like OpenAI. Not properly aligning an emergent AGI could risk irreparably disrupting human civilization as we know it. And any private entity recklessly brushing off those concerns in their pursuit of being first is essentially playing a potential extinction-level game of Russian roulette with humanity's future. So while I'm impressed by the cutting-edge AI and robotics breakthroughs from companies like Roboterra, I really hope the broader AI community, whether researchers, executives, policymakers, or others, is taking the OpenAI whistleblowers' warnings about these existential risks just as seriously, because we may only get one shot at developing AGI in a controlled, responsible way that ensures this game-changing technology remains an asset that allows humanity to flourish, rather than an unintended catalyst for our potential downfall. The stakes are that high.